This is the School of Astrology with the astrological calendar of January 2021. If you look at the month in terms of the ephemeris, which is the tables that provide the placements of all the planets, and you want to know what this means for you, then this is the video for you. So first of all, we need to determine what is time quality. The time quality is determined by the constellation of the day or of a moment and how all the planets work together to generate a certain quality of time that is special for this very moment or for this very day. Right? But what does it mean for you? So the recommendation would be you get your chart and find the placements of your sun, moon, rising, midheaven, and the planets. Ideally, you would put it next to you when you watch this video so you can check right away. You would compare the current transits, like the movement of the planets during the month. You would compare them to your chart. We'll go through this one by one, no worries. We would strongly weigh the repeating constellations. This is the constellations that your birth chart already shows. Like if you have a Sun-Saturn square, this quality will repeat with every Sun-Saturn transit. So even if you find now Saturn transit to your Sun that is a trine, it will display more the quality of the square that you have in your birth chart. Okay, so this is something very important to remember, and it's often not considered, and so we get confused why certain transits don't play out the way the textbook would give it to us. And this is the reason. And you would, of course, mind all other relevant aspects. But if you work through your chart and through the transits one by one, you will see a picture form of the time quality that a certain time has for you. So this is how, don't get confused please, this now is a bit much in one table, but we'll check it out one by one, right? So here we have all the planets and sun and moon that we call the lights, and then the planets, and also Chiron and the true node, the northern lunar node, and their placements across the entire month. What we're also going to do in this video is to go through the entire month and see what specific time qualities you would wish to mind, like in most cases avoid. So we point out the days that would not be 100% ideal for certain endeavors, like starting a project. You would want to avoid certain days that would make your project maybe more troublesome than it would need to be. Okay, so this is the second part of the video. We're going to get to that later. We continue with Mars because we want to look at the things that you may consider as a red flag in your monthly planning, right? So Mars moves from 27 degrees 21 in Aries to 12 degrees 01 in Taurus during the month of January in 2021. So now if you have your sun, moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet somewhere between 27 degrees Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, and 12-30 around about Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you may see confrontation because the current Mars will form either a conjunct or an opposition or a square to the planet that you're looking at. On the other hand, if you find a planet in your birth chart between 27 degrees Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, or Aquarius, and 12-30 around about Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, or Pisces, you may see an energy boost because the current Mars in January will form a trine or a sextile to the planet that you're looking at in your chart. But again, overall, the quality of the aspect that this planet or chart element that you analyze has with Mars in your birth chart will repeat. So you will see this quality again. Now here we have Jupiter and Saturn, but we will only analyze Saturn because for Jupiter you may just want to look at transits that may generate an energy boost. So you can work this the same way, but you may want to watch out because Jupiter increases everything that is given. So if there is an unfortunate constellation, Jupiter will also increase this. It doesn't lend itself too well to an interpretation in a generic manner as we do it here. So you will want to look at this in more detail. Saturn and Jupiter are close by in January 2021, close to each other, especially in the beginning of the month. So Saturn aspects may be either alleviated by the influence of Jupiter or aggravated, strongly aggravated. So again, depending on the constellation that Saturn and Jupiter show to the planet that you analyze in your birth chart, the interpretation here will also follow. So if you have Sun, Moon, rising midheaven, or any planet in your birth chart somewhere between 1 and 6 degrees Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio, you may see reduction because the current transiting Saturn will form a conjunct or an opposition or square to the planet in your birth chart that you're looking at. On the other hand, if you have Sun, Moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet somewhere between 1 and 6 degrees Gemini, Libra, Aries, or Sagittarius, you may see stabilization because, in this case, current Saturn in January will form a trine or sextile to the planet in question in your birth chart. And again, please do moderate this with the quality of the aspect that Saturn has to this planet in your birth chart. So we already arrived at Uranus. Uranus moves from 643 to 949 Taurus in January. And you may wonder why we say 643 because our table starts with 648. And this is the case because Uranus starts with a retrograde motion in January and only becomes prograde, as we call it. In the chart you see here the D for directive. This is the prograde motion, so it will turn around and be prograde from around about the 14th January onwards, and then move until 9 degrees 49 Taurus until the end of the month. So again, the same as you've already heard with the other planets. If you have your birth Sun, Moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet somewhere between 5 degrees 43 and 10 degrees 49 Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you may see a sudden disruption because the current Uranus will form a conjunct, an opposition, or a square to the planet that you're looking at. Especially here with Uranus, you may want to check the house that the planet rules that you interpret, because this life field may be affected by this constellation. If you want to learn more about the house rulership, you may want to check our short video on how to interpret a birth chart. We'll link it in the description below. And then if you have your birth Sun, Moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet somewhere between 543 and 1049 Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, or Pisces, you may see pleasant surprises or a pleasant surprise during this time because the current Uranus in January will form a trine or a sextile to your birth chart planet that you are looking at. And again, overall, the quality of the aspect that this planet that you're looking at has with Uranus in your birth chart will repeat again. All right? So now Neptune. Again, same procedure, right? Neptune moves from 18 degrees 28 Pisces to 19 degrees 14 Pisces during the month of January. So if you have your birth sun, moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet somewhere between 16 degrees 28, so you see we have like a 2 degrees deviation here, and 21 degrees 14, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, or Sagittarius, you may see chaos because the current Neptune forms a conjunct, an opposition, or a square to the planet in question that you're analyzing. We gave 2 degrees before and after the actual degrees of Neptune in January, because typically the aspects will be valid that long. And seeing that Neptune is a very slow motion planet, if you have your sun on 18 degrees Pisces, you will have felt Neptune approach from when he was in 16 degrees, and you see here that is not even 1 degree passing in 1 month. So it will take quite a while until Neptune will have passed an aspect. And an aspect with Neptune is valid 2 degrees before and after it is exact. So you will feel, in this case, with a conjunct, opposition, and square, the chaos already 2 degrees before the aspect is exact, and it will only cease to be chaotic or cease to be in effect. So that's sometimes it's a very long time, right? On the other hand, if you have your sun in the birth chart or your moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet between 1628 and 2114 of Cancer, Scorpio, Capricorn, or Taurus, you may see great inspiration because the current Neptune forms a trine or a sextile to this planet. And again, as with all the other planets, the quality that this planet that you're analyzing has with Neptune in your birth chart, this quality will repeat, right? So if you have a square between Neptune and Sun in the birth chart, even a trine between the current Neptune and your birth Sun will feel like a square, more like a square than like a trine. Last but not least, we arrive at Pluto. Pluto moves from 2411 Capricorn to 2511 Capricorn in January. So you already see there's only like 1 degree going. And so Pluto is not one of the speediest planets to move around the Sun. So if you have your birth Sun, Moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet between 2211 and 2711, you also see here like the orbits before and after the exact aspect. In Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, or Libra, you may see power struggles because the current Pluto forms a conjunct, opposition, or square to the planet in your birth chart that you're analyzing. And also here you see that we have these plus minus 2 degrees that you will need to consider for the aspect, because you will start to feel the struggle before and it will cease to be effective only around about 2 degrees after. So it will see a peak when it's exact, but before and after you will still also feel the effect. And then again, if you have your birth Sun, Moon, rising, midheaven, or any planet between 2211 and 2711 of Taurus, Virgo, Pisces, or Scorpio, you may see powerful support because the current Pluto in January forms a trine or a sextile to your birth planet that you analyze. All right. We hope now you're not confused on a higher level. Let's move on to the specific dates across January. What do we have here? On 5th and 6th January 2021, Mars will be in the void of course. And since Mars is the planet of decision making, this quality cannot manifest on such a day while Mars is in the void of course, like in the last 30 minutes of a sign, like from 29:30 to 30 degrees. And this means you may wish to prepone or postpone decisions because when the Mars is in the void of course, decision making doesn't work so well, and there will be possible errors and or misunderstandings, and this you may wish to avoid. Then we see on 10 January 2021 a conjunct of Mercury and Saturn, and this is a day where communication can be tough but also very concrete. Movement may also be inhibited, can work out the one and the other way, but if you have like a delicate conversation to plan, you may wish to opt for another day. So then between 13 and 16 January, we have a square between Mars and Saturn. And this is a rather aggressive and destructive time quality, so maybe not the most ideal time to have this one very delicate conversation, okay? Then on 19 January, the Sun will change signs and will be in the void of course during the day. And so someone may be overlooked or not considered, something like this direction. So what do we do with this information? This is, for instance, not the ideal day to ask for a raise because you may be overlooked, okay? Then on 20 and 21 January, we have a conjunct between Mars, Uranus, and the Moon. So this is an aggressive and destructive time quality, and the aggression or the surprise may come out of the blue and be very sudden. So whatever you're planning may be worth to be considered. And then on 24 and 25 January, we have a conjunct between the Sun and Saturn. This is also typically a time quality of a depreciation of a person's value or of a person's values. Could be an indication of a lack of self-esteem on that day, or in general of depreciation of whatever is given on that day. So maybe also not ideal to start projects. So here you have this constellation. And now on 26 January, we have a square between Sun and Uranus. So also this could possibly generate conflicts out of the blue. And also on January, we have another day like this, similar time quality with a square between Sun and Mars. Also possible conflict or unfriendly act on that day. And then something else we may wish to consider a few days or at least a week ahead is that from 31st January onward until 21st February, Mercury will be in retrograde. So you may wish to pre or postpone the start of projects. Why? Projects that start with Mercury in retrograde take ages to complete, are cumbersome and feel extremely dragged out, take a lot of effort, will be delayed and so forth. So it's not exactly ideal for starting something. So you may either do this way ahead, like a week before, or well after the end of the retrograde phase. Okay, so that was it. So now we wish you good luck with your endeavors in January. We hope you find useful content on this channel and appreciate your feedback. Thanks for your comments. Please also comment what interests you. We would like to cater to the most requested themes first. Please subscribe to stay updated with free content every Sunday. And remember to activate notifications to be informed about new content. Thank you for your interest and see you again soon on this channel.